What's happening, America? I'm Mike Muse, and I am the SBA's My Brother's Keeper Millennial Entrepreneurial Champion. And I am so excited to present to you this video series on millennial entrepreneurship. Millennials see entrepreneurship differently, and we want to give you the tools that you need to be successful. I am so excited to present to you 6 millennial entrepreneurs that come from a wide spectrum of industries, from fashion to digital to music to agencies. The list goes on. And through their stories, they're going to show you how you can do biz your way, on your terms, on your agenda, on your platform. Welcome to Biz My Way. Well, first, hello, twin. I'm excited to learn about and to hear about the work that you're doing with True Electro, right? When you think camo, you think fight, right? Yeah. And camouflage, you think being in a zone or being in a battle, right? And what's interesting is that that's really the place that the music industry is in right now. It's almost any other industry too, right? In terms of like battling to find where the next revenue stream is going to come from. Festivals now are the new thing. So tell us about what True Electro is and how did you come into the idea of starting your own festival?
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that millennials are about experiences. Like my generation, we don't really care about owning cars and like all these physical objects. We care more about experiences. So the most interesting person in the room is a person who's like traveled, who's been to festivals and stuff like that. And then when you have platforms like social media, it's like adding gas to it, because now you can share these experiences and you can get that positive feedback of people liking and like favoriting your posts. So I think events are going to be big, man. I think it's going to be that way for this generation. Like, I wasn't really interested in the music industry or anything like that. I was investing in the stock market and I was doing pretty well, but I knew I was just lucky and it was time for me to do something else. So I was looking at other ventures to get into, and a friend of mine came to visit me in DC. One of the guys I met when we were hanging out ended up doing a Kendrick Lamar concert like a few months later, and it was a huge success. And so in the spring of 2012, I hit him up and I was like, hey man, if you had more money, what could you do? Could you do something bigger? And we batted back and forth ideas like, oh, hey, we call it Electro, and like coming up with the whole idea. And within like a month, we put the whole thing together and it was a success. And then it's sort of just been building on that. It's about discovery, like putting people onto new music, introducing them to new artists. You know, we don't necessarily try to book the biggest artists all the time. Like that wasn't the original concept of the festival. It was about finding artists that were emerging but had a really passionate fan base. One of the important things is just like being curious and keeping an open mind.
While you're discovering your curiosity, how did you feel about coming from such a very traditional career, coming from a very like statesman, stately kind of position and working for Capitol Hill and then also too working and living in the district, right? And like how comfortable were you to follow your curiosity? Because I'm sure many people in that space would say Capitol Hill is the get. Capitol Hill is the destination. Why do I need to think about anything else? But it seems like you embraced your crazy by finding curiosity, and now we got Schoolboy Q and Collard Greens like on your show. How did that work? How did you go against that and embrace your crazy? Because that's crazy.
One of my principles is take a crazy idea and take it seriously. I think I've just been lucky throughout my life. You know, I've had people that encourage my curiosity. So when I was in college, I studied economics, but I also took like a lot of psychology classes. I took like 3 years of art. I was taking theater, I was taking dance. Like a great man once told me, you know, if you ever try to be good at one thing, you're probably not gonna succeed. Like there's always gonna be 15 people in the world that are better than you. But if you can take 2 slightly eccentric things and bring them together, then you have the chance of being really, really good at those 2 things combined, like in that sweet spot. So that's the mode I've always taken.
But you really hit on the whole notion of hybrid, of like combining these 2 entities together and not really being afraid. Do you feel that's where we're going towards as millennials and what's really encouraging entrepreneurship to look different for millennials, right? Because we are now combining these things.
Once you start combining like different industries, different areas of study, that's when you start getting insights. That's when you start seeing things that everyone else has missed, and that's where you see all the opportunities. And when I was in college, I was sort of obsessed with the Obama campaign, and then like using behavioral economics to like using analytics and data to help Obama win his first term. And so I looked at it and I saw that as an opportunity. I was like, if we market this festival the way you'd market, a campaign, like do all the digital stuff that Obama does, like we could make up for not being able to book like a really big artist with a big name. And we came across this crowd-seeking platform called Thunderclap that allows you to create a social media flash mob. I saw this and I was like, oh man, this is nuts. Like, we could use this to let the fans announce the lineup. This would be something that no one had ever done before, and it would help us get our message out there. So, that was one of the really cool things. And when we ran the campaign, it did extremely well. Got tons of people to sign up, including the artists on the bill, and got the festival trending nationally.
And that's the key, is where you want your product or your brand to be something that's worth mentioning and people getting excited about. But Jason, as entrepreneurs, we think the best marketing, and really sometimes the only marketing, which can be a mistake, is go straight to social media. That may not be the best thing immediately, right? So do you believe that's a pitfall to think that? And if it is a pitfall, how do you then find the solution to get people to orientate their minds differently about how to use social media more impactfully?
I don't think social media is like a one-size-fits-all. It's definitely an art. Everyone thinks it's about the tools, but like you can give a paintbrush to a chimp and give a paintbrush to Picasso, you're gonna get two different results. Social media is like the levers you pull to like, all right, this is the part of the story I can tell through Instagram. This is the part of the story I can tell through Twitter. What I would tell millennial entrepreneurs is there are two really important things to master when you're dealing with marketing. The first is content. So you need to have something that's gonna make people feel. Emotion isn't just like something that makes you sad, it's something that makes you laugh, something that makes you giggle, like some sort of insight. Once you have something, you gotta figure out how to get it in front of as many people as possible. Start building your audience. Like, that's the most important thing. And if you can consistently give quality content to people that make them feel things and still communicate your brand, like you're gonna win.
I just wanted to thank you for embracing your crazy, right? And helping us find our audience and helping us find our voice, man, and learning really how to do biz your way.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. That was great.